Hey people, it's NIyas713. This is from CNN. Germany to return looted Benin bronzes to Nigeria. Precious artifacts that were looted during the colonial era will finally be returned to Nigeria. The German government has announced the first returns are planned for 2022. In a joint declaration published Thursday, Germany's Ministry of Culture, State Minister, and Ministers and Museum Directors committed to substantive returns of Benin bronzes, artworks made of bronze, brass, and ivory that were taken by the British Army in a raid in the Kingdom of Benin in present-day Nigeria in 1897. The bronzes were subsequently distributed across the world and hundreds are currently held in German museums. Nigeria has sought their returns for decades. I want people to pause here for a second. Now, people often accuse Nigerians of being scammers and of Nigerian corruption. I always say, that a lot of things people accuse black people of is projection. Because all these countries that are calling Nigerians corrupt and scammers are themselves holding stolen Nigerian artifacts. Always remember, there's two fingers. Whenever they point a finger at a black man, there's always four fingers pointing back at him. Actually, 5,000 more like. Or Seisenur Godfrey Kator or Bogi, a historian and researcher at Nigeria's Institute for Benin Studies, welcomed the declaration, saying that Germany is leading in the global restitution movement. Other European nations should be willing and open to acknowledge that all objects looted in 1897 belong to the Benin people, he said over email. Like Germany, they too should initiate or join the dialogue to discuss the future of these objects. Actually, I want to say something. It's ironic that they've given Jews compensation, which is quite right, before they've given back these stolen things. Let's keep going. This decision was a truce with parties, not a win-win or a winner-takes-all. I will tell my children about this historic milestone. German Culture Minister Monika Grütters described the declaration as a historic milestone. We face a historic and moral responsibility to shine a light on Germany's colonial past, said Grütters in a statement. We would like to contribute to an understanding and reconciliation with descendants of the people who were robbed of their cultural treasures during the colonial era. The declaration lays out plans for the first pieces to return next year and for a roadmap to guide additional restitution while specifying which artifacts or how many. It also requires museums in possession of Benin objects to establish and document their provenance. Those details are to be published on a new website that will serve as an information resource and point of contact for restitution claims related to any German collection from colonial contexts. Parties to the agreement have pledged to work with Nigerian partners, including the Legacy Restoration Trust, which is leading to the development of the new Edo Museum for West African Art in Benin City, Edo State. The announcement follows a visit by a German government delegation to Nigeria in March, after which the Foreign Minister Heiko Maas signaled support for restitution. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, who else the delegation subsequently announced the launch of a Legacy Restoration Trust, expressed hope that the international cooperation would go beyond the return of objects. We believe that our collaboration should transcend not only returning the works, but also understanding the significant meaning of those works from our history, said Obaseki in a statement. Germany has also committed to supplying expertise and funding for the new museum designed by award-winning architect David Adjaye, and recently launched a knowledge exchange platform collaboration between German and African museums. Thursday's declaration has, however, received a mixed reaction from scholars in the field of restitution. Professor Jürgen Zimmerer, a colonial historian at the University of Hamburg, described it as a disappointment for not going further. There is a general commitment to substantial restitution, however, this is rather vague, he told CNN. No firm schedule for restitution has been presented. And the thing is, they say substantial. I don't understand what people can say, well, we'll give back some of it. When you steal things, are you supposed to just say, well, I'm going to give back some of it, but I need some of the rest of it, so we'll just keep it? When something's stolen, isn't only restitution decided when everything is returned, plus compensation for the damages? But Professor Dan Hicks, curator of the Pitt Rivers Museum at the University of Oxford and author of a book on the Benin bronzes, believe the declaration is a step forward. This clear statement from such a powerful group of German museum leaders setting out their willingness to make substantive returns of Benin bronzes would be very welcome to many, said Hicks. The fast-moving developments in Germany will move the needle on this question and will shift it up the agenda also for the trustee bodies, directors, curators, and museum goers at more than 150 museums worldwide that hold Benin collections. Nigeria's campaign. The bronzes have come to be regarded as among the finest artworks produced in Africa, and individual pieces have sold for millions of dollars. So you see, when people keep talking about you don't deserve reparations, they are making millions off of stolen African artifacts. even years after they've stolen it. So anyway, let's keep going. Nigeria's campaign for the return predates the country's independence in 1960. The issue has often been a source of tensions in relation with former colonial powers, such as the diplomatic incident sparked by the British Museum's refusal to return an ivory mask on loan. Wow. You see, this is how far they'll go, that they will be loaned stuff by African countries and then just say, well, it's so good, we're just going to keep it. They really believe that they own black people and their stuff, like they're still slave masters. But after decades of little success, there have been signs of movement in recent years in 2019. In fact, I think there's a hyperlink to that story. I think I'll go back to it maybe later if I have the time. But after decades of little success, there have been signs of movements in recent years. In 2019, the former French government commissioned a report recommending that museum artifacts from sub-Saharan Africa be made available for restitution claims. Actually, this goes back to what I was saying. The French government making a report, just everybody who's listening, boycott France. Don't go to France, don't buy French products. If you can, you just even avoid French movies. Remember something, if you see it on a channel, even watching it, even if you're not paying for it officially, gives it more ratings. So every way you can boycott France, boycott it. The director of major museums in the Netherlands have supported calls for a new process for restitution. A handful of institutions have acted on their own initiative. The National Museum of Ireland recently committed to progress a restitution process for its bronzes, according to the Times, while the University of Aberdeen has announced it will return a bronze. But UK law forbids national museums from returning parts of their collections, which has proved a significant barrier. The British Museum, which holds the largest collection of bronzes from Benin, has been a frequent target for campaigns. That's a lie. UK law forbids. Okay, they can change laws all the time. If there is a protest, they'll quickly pass a law saying that protests are not allowed, protests can't be done at this place. It's done so quickly. For people who wonder, the legislation process in this country is amazingly quick when they want it to be. So if they wanted to, they could send it. They've just decided not to. Anyway, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm going to leave this article in the description. If you like to support this channel, leave my GoFundMe. If you like to follow my Instagram, I'll leave it there as well. If you want to buy one of my t-shirts, I'll leave the link there as well. Peace.